Aaron Fischer says Superman's a flop. Kevin Smith saw it twice in one day and cried. One of them's wrong. Let's talk. Hey, welcome back to Only Nerdy Gaming, where pixels, popcorn, and plot twists collide. If it's got lasers, loot boxes, or Lex Luthor, you know we're gonna talk about it. And today, we're responding to Aaron Fischer's latest video where he calls James Gunn Superman forgettable, a throwaway movie, and a financial flop. As always, we're keeping it honest, respectful, and rooted in facts, not feelings. First off, Aaron says there's nothing memorable about this film, that it'll be forgotten in 5 years. But then you hear Kevin Smith, yes, that Kevin Smith, say it's the first time he's ever felt connected to Superman. Not because of powers or fights, but because of the character's empathy. The moment Superman says he's probably scared when talking about his dog, that's what stuck with Kevin. That line made him feel seen. He literally went back to see the movie again that same night. That's not forgettable. That's storytelling that lands. Aaron also says the movie's a financial disaster, pointing to a possible 450 to 500 million global gross. But that completely ignores context. Man of Steel released over a decade ago in a stronger global box office climate, before streaming dominated, before superhero fatigue, and during a time when China was still a huge growth market. That's not the case anymore. Superman 2025 still opened to 220 million worldwide and is already ahead of Superman Returns. And it's on pace to match or exceed the adjusted global total of Man of Steel. That's not a bomb. That's a solid start. And let's not pretend this film was ever trying to be a billion-dollar spectacle out of the gate. This isn't Avengers Endgame. It's a relaunch. It's setting the stage. Iron Man didn't hit $1 billion. Captain America didn't either. You don't build a universe on box office records alone. You build it on trust, tone, and consistency. And Gunn's Superman is earning that. Now Aaron claims the humor is immature and says Gunn's work is for unintelligent Americans, citing a supposed quote from someone in China. That's not criticism. That's stereotyping. The movie blends heart, humor, and high-concept science fiction in a way that honors the comic book format. And guess what? Kevin Smith, a lifelong DC fan and literal comic writer, praised the emotional beats. He said the humanity in this version of Superman is what made it special. Aaron calls this movie a flop, but then admits more people are seeing it than he expected. He talks about its international numbers, but skips over to the fact that the domestic audiences are showing up. He says the sequel isn't fast-tracked, but we already know DC's long-term plan includes Supergirl, Batman, Lanterns, and more. This movie was never meant to be the endgame. It's the beginning. And finally, let's talk tone. Kevin Smith said that this version of Superman felt punk rock. In a world that's constantly cynical, being hopeful is rebellious. Superman's greatest power in this film isn't strength, it's compassion. That's the kind of storytelling that lasts. That's the kind of storytelling we need. So yeah, Aaron, you're entitled to your opinion. But the idea that this movie is forgettable or meaningless? It's just not holding up. The numbers tell one story. The fans tell another. And both are louder than the noise. If you felt something while watching Superman, if it reminded you why you love these characters, then you already know. This isn't a throwaway movie. It's a turning point, and it's only just getting started. I want to leave you with Kevin Smith speaking genuinely about this movie, so you can see, for yourself, how this movie pulls at your emotions. Even if you're not the biggest Superman fan.
And he's like gonna give him some fucking sunlight or whatever the fuck, and he goes, would you like me to put up your parents again? Because as he told the robot in the beginning, it makes him feel good. And Superman's like, yeah, I'd like that. And then, goddamn, if James Gunn doesn't sucker punch you on the way out the door, it ain't his Kryptonian parents, which, you know, had always given him comfort, as he said earlier in the movie. It's Ma and Pa Kent, and it's his entire childhood video of this kid running around the farm, being raised, having birthdays, just living a human life. And you realize why he is what he is. Doesn't matter whatever his Kryptonian parents were like, go and fucking conquer. His parents on Earth, Mom and Pa Kent, made him this compassionate, empathetic hero who just wants to do the right thing. As he tells Lois, like you saw in the trailers and shit, he's like, I'm not representing anybody except myself. I'm just trying to do good. And so you see his childhood, and that's when you see the shot of young Pa Kent holding up young Clark Kent as he flies, and then they cut to David Cornsweet's face, and he's smiling, and then out, credits. Wonderful. Just absolutely fucking wonderful. Made you feel good. Made me feel good enough to go twice in the span of a day. Just talking about it makes me want to go see it again. Just for some of those key moments, man.
That's it for this episode. Thanks for watching. See you next time.